everybody. Welcome back to the Brotherhood of Gaming podcast. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on this week. December was quite a busy month. So, first thing on our list of things to talk about, because we haven't really, because...
In a while, anyway.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Thoughts so far. See, the thing is, even though we had talked about this previously on podcast sessions, it's like every few minutes or days, like something brand new was coming out
right.
that pretty much voided our last podcast and made it pretty much meaningless because some of the questions we asked suddenly got answered, if not misplaced, when new things came out, such as now it's going to be an episodic thing where it's not going to be the whole game right away, which...
So what do you think about that? The fact that it's going to be released in episode form?
I heard, from what I've read and heard, they say that each episode is going to be the length of a full-size game, which honestly I believe, considering that, yeah, Final Fantasy VII was really such a big game. You have such a huge world. You have all of these different places, and to fit that all in one, like, I don't know how you'd be able to make it all so fast and and bring the game out within the next couple of years. So I figure, this is probably the best way that they think they're going to go about it, where they can make a lot of it and they can just release it as they're done with it in episodes and reap the benefits. I don't mind it, really.
I don't either, because, Resident Evil Revelations is proof that the episodic nature of it can work.
Yeah, it can work. What people don't like, it's not so much that people don't like about it being episodic as much as they don't like the idea of it not being a complete
change.
Yeah. Being a complete game, and they don't want to pay more than what they're obviously going to.
That's the big thing too, is how much content is going to be in what we're going to be paying for.
So like is each episode as explained going to be the full size length of a game? Is each episode going to be $59.99?
Right.
So are we in total, by the time this game's done, are we going to have paid $300
exactly
to play this whole game?
Yeah. So
maybe it was Square's way of saying put your money where your mouth is.
I don't have a problem with it in theory. I just hope Square Enix doesn't abuse it.
Yeah.
Which we all know video game companies will abuse anything they can to get money. If they're going to do it in episodic form, as long as it's at a reasonable price for each episode, and if it's done plenty of context,
and it's as lengthy as they say it's going to be,
then I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
The plus side is that, we'll play Final Fantasy VII, sooner, I think. Or at least parts of it sooner.
Yeah, so, hey, you can't complain that much. I mean,
Final Fantasy VII, Episode 1.
I mean, you're getting it sooner, and full-length game, so, like, how do we know that the full length of the first episode of the game isn't going to be the entire Midgar scenario from the very first Mako reactor all the way up to where you escape the city of Midgar and go into the overworld, and that's where it ends, leaving the cast going on it, starting their adventure in the overworld. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be a good way to end the first episode.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree with that. So I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people are. Well, people get upset because they don't want change at all. They want exactly what they want. Just, I don't know, give me something new, but exactly like it was before.
Yeah, and unfortunately, guys, that doesn't work.
Right.
It worked many, many years ago, but the formula has needed an upgrade. As much as even I don't like to admit it, like, the Mega Man formula doesn't work anymore. Like, with the price that we're paying today and what we've seen, the simple formula of treading through linear 8 stages, ultimately to get to the 4 last ones, is the experience is so fast that it's almost not worth it. You kind of want to make more for your buck. You want to have more exploration. You want to have a reason to explore more and go on the sides and find things that you couldn't get. And with Final Fantasy, what makes that not work so well is the reason why it was turn-based in the first place was because that was the best way it could be done. Mm-hmm. Like, the old generation of consoles and gaming really couldn't handle the fighting style and extent of action that clearly is capable of being done today. So Yeah, like the last time we got a turn-based Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 13, which we all know for a fact didn't work.
Right.
Some of you guys may like it, but you know what? You cannot argue with the sales. You cannot argue with results.
Right.
It brought in poor results. Most people really don't like the series. If you are a part of the minority that does, that's fine. But that's not what Square's looking for.
Right. Yeah, so, I'm okay with what I see so far. As far as the action goes, I just see Kingdom Hearts mixed with Crisis Core, and I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
I do have my issues with the Kingdom Hearts series, but I never had any issues with the combat.
Yeah, nobody could say anything bad about the combat.
No, not at all. But so I think it looks fine. I think Cloud looks a little too skinny for my liking, but that's just a personal preference.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say he looks emo or anything, because that emo was never part of his character.
Since he's wielding such a big ass sword, I just wish he was a little more
muscular.
That's just me, but
because he was a little thicker. at least in concept art, he was a little thicker.
I don't need him as big as Ryu, but maybe a little more jacked, a little more yoked up.
Because let's be honest, when it came to the old PS1 game, graphics never were good.
Right.
They were wielding like Popeye arms. Like the character models looked really trash.
Yeah.
And even in battle, they weren't as well refined. But the concept art is where you actually got to see these characters in their full glory by looking through the manual and seeing the pictures of the characters. That's how you got to see what they really look like. Because the game was not going to give you an accurate look.
Yeah, description of it.
So yeah, like with the concept art, he looked a little buffer, and it was only as the years go on that like the outfit and the look stayed the same, but slightly toned him up to make him skinnier and a little more doubtful, not as cocky or broad shoulders as he first appears. Which is part of his character. Like he's supposed to be that at first. It's not until post Advent Children that he feels like. Pre-Advent Children that he feels that way.
So I'm encouraged. As far as the episodic nature, I'm fine with it.
As long as they don't abuse it.
So I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah,